Have you ever wondered what happens when cash becomes a family heirloom, passing through the generations like second-hand clothing to you and me? In a world where the family tree mingles with the money tree, we're about to set out on a journey through the mesmerizing tale of old money dynasties and how they've left their fingerprints all over the world of business. But as we peel back the metaphorical onion, we can't help but ask, do these dynasties hold the secret to unwavering riches? Or are they forever destined to meddle with the ever-evolving circus of entrepreneurship? In the French-speaking world and beyond, one family name stands above all others: Bouygues. Etching their name into the very fabric of French society, the Bouygues family have been a behemoth of the industry for generations, dabbling in construction, engineering, real estate, media, and telecoms. The Bouygues tale begins in 1952 with a dapper monsieur named Francis Bouygues. Like most self-made men, Francis came from nothing but made it to the very top thanks to his iron will, starting with a small construction firm. The 70s and 80s were a time of growth for the firm before Francis's son Martin took the reins after the old man's retirement in 1989. Martin had big plans for the company and set about indulging in that familiar pastime of big business, diversification. The Bouygues name, synonymous with supremacy throughout construction, is intrinsically linked to many French businesses. Like sand after a day at the beach, they seem to be present in every crevice of society. Through subsidiaries such as Bouygues Construction, Bouygues Telecom, Bouygues Immobilier, and others, they've left a lasting mark on their empire, forging a reputation over the years thanks to quality, innovative products. Of course, the name of the game is fortune, and they have that in abundance. Their longevity in an ever-changing world marks them out as your traditional old money family. Like all good members of the gentry, they still thrive today due to a policy of moving with the times and overcoming the competition. It's as though they have had a massive head start, having passed from family patriarch Francis down to his son Martin, under the watchful eye of brother Olivier, a high-ranking board member. The company experienced massive growth. With Martin installed as chairman these days, the day-to-day running of the firm is in the safe hands of the company's first non-family CEO in its history, Olivier Roussat. The group has overseen some of the most important projects in France, the wider European region and North Africa, including the iconic Parc des Princes, the Forum des Halles shopping centre and Stade de France, all in Paris. They have also been behind other vital projects, such as constructing the Channel Tunnel and proving there are many strings to the Bouygues bow. And like all good industrial empires, they're big in the philanthropy game, earmarking several million euros annually for charitable causes. This is in keeping with their modern, forward-thinking attitude and ongoing innovations. A serious player within 5G and telecoms in general, the group continues to be behind construction marvels across the globe. However, the old mantra that suggests that behind every successful conglomerate is a fair amount of backhanders is never too far away where Bouygues are concerned, and the group have been accused of things like bid rigging and subjecting employees to inhumane working conditions in the past. Just 2 years ago, they were sanctioned by the World Bank in relation to a Madagascar airport project, which you can read more about at worldbank.org. In 2020, they were the subject of a malware attack on its computer network, which some humorously suggested was karma for their previous misgivings. So, knowing what we now know about the Bouygues Group, are they committed to improving our world, or are they simply another global conglomerate hell-bent on squeezing out every last cent from every deal? Ask any car junkie to name a top-class motor company, and it won't be long before you hear the name Porsche. The Porsche family are synonymous with precision engineering and high-speed, adrenaline-filled rides, creating legendary models over the years. Like a long and winding racetrack, the company's history has been full of twists and turns. Since Ferdinand Porsche founded the dynasty back in 1931, the great German engineer joined forces with other prominent names, such as Adolf Rosenberger and Anton Piëch, spawning some of the greatest cars known to man. Sports cars are and have always been the company's main hustle. Still, they also own a majority share in other heavy hitters in the industry, such as Volkswagen AG, showing no slouches regarding business acumen. As you might imagine, being one of the biggest names in automotive history, the Porsche family aren't short of a few quid. Although not part of traditional old money high society, they can certainly be categorized as old speed. When it comes to the aristocracy of the car world, these guys are most definitely in pole position, which their old money mannerisms have highlighted regarding generational transitions. Of course, Ferdinand is front and center when people think of the Porsche family, but his grandson, also called Ferdinand but known as Buzzi, was the master craftsman behind the iconic Porsche 911, a car with a simple construction worldly style. These days, the company is in the safe hands of another family member, Wolfgang Porsche, who acts as chairman. Throughout the company's history, there have been plenty of celebrated moments, such as the launch of the Porsche 356, their first ever production car. 1957 signaled their first foray into F1, the highlight of which came in 1962 as the company won their first Grand Prix in France. In a survey by the Luxury Institute in New York, the company was awarded the title of the most prestigious automobile brand, which is quite an achievement given the company they keep. And like any true member of the elite, the family have also been behind some of the most luxurious cars in history, including the Boxster, the 918 Spider, and the ever-popular Cayenne, proving that it's not about where you're going, it's how quickly you get there. They're also quick to put their hands in their pockets where philanthropy is concerned. The Porsche family has been quick to donate to various causes over the years and, back in 2018, launched the Ferry Porsche Foundation, which is designed to support educational and social issues. Of course, this aligns with their mantra of moving with the times, much like other families with fingers in multiple pies. Their transition to electric vehicles reflects their vision for the future, where sustainability is the buzzword ringing around Porsche HQ. Current CEO Oliver Blume has big plans for the future, but he could do much worse than looking to the past for inspiration, where innovation dripped out of the Porsche boardroom like that leaky tap in your bathroom. If he can avoid previous challenges such as the long-running VW control dispute of the past 15 years, as outlined in autonews.com, the future should look bright for the German giants. In the world of high fashion, one name stands taller than most: Hermes. Opulence and style are the keywords for this French outfit, which has been around since the days of Thierry Hermes back in the early 1800s. Somewhat strangely for what the company would go on to do in the world of fashion, Thierry's first venture was in horse harnesses, which, according to Hermes.com, proved to be a pretty stable hustle. With a growing reputation, the Parisian harnessed his mastery of leather and silk over the years. As Thierry grew into old age, his son Charles-Émile was there to carry on the family business. Charles-Émile wasn't simply happy to carry on his old man's ideas, but wanted to expand exponentially and introduced saddlery and selling products retail, significantly increasing revenue. Later, Charles-Émile's son, Émile Maurice, pioneered the first ever leather golf jacket while simultaneously furnishing none other than the Tsar of Russia with saddles. However, the family influence can be seen across various products, including fragrances, tableware, and handbags. Hermes is one of those names that simply oozes old money chic, and few others rival their standing in high fashion. Like a vintage wine, their reputation increases exponentially with age, employing almost 20,000 people worldwide. According to Statista.com, the family is considered worth somewhere in the neighborhood between 12 to 17 billion euros. Not bad for a harness maker. As I mentioned, the company was handed down to Charles-Émile in 1880, who was pivotal in expanding company operations. Upon his retirement, his sons, Émile Maurice and Adolphe, propelled the company into the 20th century with a name change, Hermes Frères. By the mid-1920s, Émile Maurice was the sole head of the company, adding accessories and clothing lines to Hermes's ever-expanding portfolio. Unfortunately, he never had any sons, so he groomed his three sons-in-law to take over. By 1951, Robert Dumas Hermes, the first non-Hermes-born leader of the company, was ready to take over. The company suffered an image decline during the 1970s. Still, another son-in-law of Émile Maurice, Jean-Louis Dumas, stepped in to save the day, breathing new life into the company and reinvigorating a stagnating brand. Over the years, the company has been behind some of the most remarkable fashion products, including the Kelly bag, after Grace Kelly, and the ever-popular Birkin bag. They also wowed fans with their Leather Forever exhibition back in 2012, proving they could still mix it with the best names in the business. Of course, their support of social causes and charitable projects under the stewardship of current CEO Axel Dumas proves just how relevant they are. Their shift towards sustainable practices only serves to solidify this notion. However, even in the world of high fashion, there are still plenty of challenges for the company. Over the years, they have been caught out by animal rights activists who have accused them of showing little regard for exotic animal welfare through their use of animal skins, which you can read more about on peta.org.uk. However, despite this, they have still managed to navigate these storms. Hermes, a brand synonymous with luxury and stellar craftsmanship, is still managing to strike a pose in the world of high fashion even to this day. In this intriguing world of high fashion, where legacy and artistry are the order of the day, we've revealed the fascinating stories of Bouygues, Porsche and Hermes. From the smooth roar of an engine, to the imposing rise of towering skyscrapers, to the threads of fine silk, these families have shaped their worlds with true mastery and expertise. So here's something to ponder as you take all of this in. In this world of old money, will there be a new challenge to the old status quo? Or are the big boys here for the long haul? We hope you have enjoyed this video on old money lovers. Till next time, cheerio.